Check the strizine.
All right, we on the stream, y'all. So we ought to get the YouTube alert in a second.
I'm finna check. So,
Oh, there we go. All right, Shalom.
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 Want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahahak Warash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Aki teacher about the mind while I'm up. We got Great Millstone, DC, Great Millstone, Houston, Great Millstone, Dallas. Another Thursday night lesson. The Lord gave us another opportunity to bring it out. Like every week, we say the same thing. It's a lot going on. That's why we're getting into various topics. You got Jake Wilding out, of course. You got the powers that be, the elites stinking up the field. You know, you got the prophets going in, you got the false prophets doing their thing. So it's always going to be something to talk about. You know, um, recently it came up to where it was questioned why y'all don't never get on the northern tribe like y'all get on the southern tribe, which we can touch that. A couple other topics came up. So without further ado, whichever brother, you know what I'm saying, y'all opening thoughts and let's get it.
Yeah, I got an opening precept. It's always a good one. We can start here. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. It says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And I brought this out because part of the signs that pass, like Yahweh Shai warned us, and it says in Isaiah, I think it's the 26th chapter, I'll look for it. The Lord said he would visit with thunderstorms and with lightning and tempest. July has been record breaking with floods. I'm talking about all over the earth, not just like we're seeing in Texas and different parts of Far East Asia. The flooding is hitting a lot of different places and it's destroying infrastructure, and it's taking lives to sending people back to the spiritual realm. It wasn't long ago that Asheville got hit. You know, Asheville is still messed up. Was that North Carolina?
Yeah.
Because Trump was using that for his campaign for he came in office, talking about how bad of a shit show that was. And that's he was using that as a catalyst to remove FEMA altogether, you know, because he wanted to get rid of FEMA. You know, I'm gonna find the other scripture in Isaiah 26.
Hey, just touching on them floods. I know out here in Texas, we had that major flood in the Guadalupe River. All right, it happened in Kerrville, in Kerr County. Mm-hmm. But it's already been it came out how they using this cloud seeding or whatever. When you look at like the other Zaria was speaking on, all right, how if you looked at the satellite view, you just saw that storm just concentrated sitting over one area, man. Okay, and in March of this year, all right, that Kerrville, they had got approved for a major power plant in that area. And then now you jump to July and a major flood happens right around the time of the 4th. Just showing you, hey, Esau's active than a motherfucker right now, but it's all the Most High's plan.
Mm-hmm. I got that precept. Let me read this other one. This it was Isaiah 29 and verse 6. It says, Thou shalt be visited of the Lord, Yahweh Bashmiah Shai of hosts, Tazabawaf, with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest, in the flame of devouring fire. And see, that's the kicker, you know? So you got all these visitations by earth that are destroying people through the spirit of Yahweh Bashmiah Shai, but on top of all of that, remember the earth is going to reel to and fro like a drunkard. So the Lord's going to bring that final destruction to America by thermonuclear destruction. We're going to keep on saying it. We don't care if you get tired, because another thing in this week, Israel was shooting missiles on Syria. The brother sent to the chat, explosions rock Damascus as Israel launches strikes on Syria. So that's going on right now, you know, in the midst of these natural disasters. So it's death. The Lord is issuing out death everywhere. That's why he said, watch, then shall we know. So we know that we're very close to even more societal breakdowns and the economic collapse, EMP, a major earthquake that just rocks America somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, and that's what I'm saying. Everything that the prophets have been prophesying is happening. You see, the uproars of the people, the wars and rumors of wars, the war, evil, pestilence, pursuant to Jeremiah 28:8, all that's happening right now. You see,
Yeah.
and 2/3 of Israel either ain't talking about it, don't know, or ain't worried about it at all. You see, but just because they not worried about it or don't know about it, don't mean it ain't coming. You see, the prophets
Exactly.
prophesy what's to come. You got it.
No, I just said exactly. I'm just agreeing with you.
Done. You got a precept?
I can continue on in Second Ezra.
Done.
Go ahead. You got it, Zaquan.
Second Ezra 9. I'll start at 2 and then keep going from there. Second Ezra 9:2. It says, "Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the earth which he made. Therefore,
We got that understanding. That's the understanding that we have. And the Lord said, when you have this understanding, to go out. What said the runner may the runner may run with the correct message. You see, the correct message is that it's about to go down.
Yeah.
But then you got the false prophets with the incorrect message. You see, they telling the congregation that they got time to sell T-shirts and buy land and build farms and do all this other stuff. That ain't. You can look at the world and the land. And what's it? So Bill Gates go sell some Israelites some farmland?
Hell no.
No, that's what I'm saying. Where you get this land from? He done bought most of it up. I think what's the Bezos? That clown bought up some more of it. That's what I'm saying. They done already bought up all this farmland you talking about.
Right.
They've been got rid of the farmers. So that's what I'm saying. Your timeline is off at best. You're not carrying the correct message, man. Go ahead.
Hey, that's good you brought that back up, just concerning Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, because it say you getting a message from the king, and you got a message you gonna make sure I got the right message I'm delivering. Hey, Shalom,
you got a message you gonna make sure I got the right.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah, just saying you got to make sure you got the right message you delivering. But that was it.
All right. Which
Yatazak, I got that scripture for you. This Habakkuk 2 verse 1, and it says, and I was listening through the spirit while I was trying to come on. It says Habakkuk 2:2, and the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it.
Right, that vision, I would say that vision is of the future. The prophecies are what the prophets are going by. You see, and you got people that mess up. Was it Peter? Yeah, Peter was the one that said the prophecy is of no private interpretation. You see, so when Yahweh spoke in parables, the ones that he broke it down to got the understanding of what he was actually talking about. Right, the people that it wasn't given to, they left with whatever the interpretation that they thought it was, and that was it. Do they have the correct message? No, because it wasn't given to them. So the correct message is only going to come from one group. You see, those who the Lord is dealing with. Now, can you read that again in the NLT, Baba Kashaw?
Con. This is Habakkuk 2 verse 2 in the NLT, and it says, then the Lord said to me, write my answer plainly on tablets, so that a runner can carry the correct message to others.
That's what I'm saying. We the runners. The prophets are the runners. The correct message is the thorough understanding. Right? Did not Yahweh say, you my friends? Did not Yahweh say, I will give you pastors after my own heart, which translates into friends? You see? That's what I'm saying. Us four, we friends. We know what it is. But each one of us live in an area where we surrounded by idiots.
Yeah.
It's all about the correct message, nothing else. Rightly divide the word of truth. Is not the scriptures the word of truth? You got it.
Hey, the scriptures say, with all I get understanding.
That's a commandment.
Yeah.
Knowest thou what thou readest? How can I, except some man teach me? And the Lord sent forth his teachers. Go ahead.
Quick precept on what you were saying about the understanding. This is Mark chapter 4, verse 33. It says, and with many such parables spake he the word unto them, as they were able to hear it. But without a parable spake he not unto them. And when they were alone, he expounded all things to his disciples.
That's right. And when you look up that word here, it goes into understanding or to comprehend something. You see? Yeah. What was that? Well, white men can't jump. Yeah, you can hear Jimmy. Yeah. He said, yeah, you can listen to Jimmy, but can you hear him?
Right.
You see? So that analogy of understanding and hearing being put together, that's what I'm saying. Eyes that can see, right? Yeah, you can have a motherfucker with 20/20 vision that don't know what's going on spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to tap, I'll say, blessed is he with eyes to see and ears to hear, right? Somebody's blessed. We believe we have that understanding. That's why we stand on business. Everybody else keep on changing stuff up and trying to figure things out, right? That's what I'm saying. The spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is what finally put these Christians in a position to where they got to defend the gospel, and they can't do it.
That's right.
They don't have the correct message.
That's right.
You got it?
Yeah, they don't have the correct message, because within that, when you go to Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, it tells you what the vision is. I'm gonna go back to Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, and get it in the Hebrew. Now, when you go to Habakkuk 2 and verse 2, the vision, it says, write the vision. Now, the Hebrew there is it's a ha, it's a za, a wa, and a na. Ha, zawan, ha, zawan. And it says vision, in night, vision, oracle, prophecy. All right, so it's about prophecy. And when you notice about these Christians, they never go into prophecy. Every time they come against us and they say we got the wrong doctrine, and they keep rehashing the same things over and over and over, the one thing that they do not do is go into prophecy.
Yep. And even though in Revelation, they tell you that, reading verbatim, the testimony of Jesus Christ is the spirit of prophecy.
Right.
And you still can't do it. You still can't do it, which makes you disobedient. Because the Lord told us that once we got the correct message, to run. Meaning go to the highways and the byways. Them niggas don't do that. Ain't even worried about it. Nigga eat a jellyfish and talk about the Gentiles and then just burn off. Go ahead.
You know, it's funny because they constantly claim, Jesus Christ, and they say they have the name Jesus Christ, but guess what? They don't go into prophecy. So that's another way to let you know that's not his name.
Right.
The spirit of Yahweh Shai deals with prophecy. So they keep saying Jesus, but they don't go into prophecy. It shows you.
Man.
And this is if I got a precept, Akim, this is Psalms 119 and 160. It says, thy word is true from the beginning, and every one of thy righteous judgments endureth forever. So the word is true from the beginning. This word is true. Remember, you said the correct message. This is the correct message, that the understanding that we received is the true and correct message.
Yeah, I had one real quick. You was done, Zaquan?
Yes, sir.
This is Acts 17 and 11 in the NLT. It says, and the people of Berea were more open-minded than those in Thessalonica, and they listened eagerly to Paul's message. They searched the scriptures day after day to see if Paul and Silas were teaching the truth. So only the men of the Lord, all right, are going to be in that spirit of the church of the Bereans, man. Okay, to constantly search the scriptures to make sure, all right, confirming what they've learned, confirming the message that we received, man. All right, they said they listened eagerly to Paul's message, which he taught what he was given through the Spirit, all right, to wake up the Israelite foreigners, man.
Mm-hmm. I had a couple of scriptures. The first one, okay, it's Psalm 78. First one, Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 39 and verse 1. No, this is in the GNT. It says, but it is different with the person, and we can read in the King James next. It says, but it is different with the person who devotes himself to studying the law of the Most High. He examines the wisdom of all the ancient writers and concerns himself with prophecies. And you know, a lot of these Christians, they don't go into the prophecies or things that are relevant, of course, because they don't have the eyesight. But they can't filter through. They can't filter what's going on in the world through the scriptures. They have to come to us, you know. And they're up under the vibration of Jesus Christ and a 501c3 charter, which puts a block on you being able to understand the prophecies. And a lot of the prophecies are dark sayings. All right, it's bad things coming. Yeah, there's prophecies about the kingdom of heaven being established on earth and righteousness and the animals being peaceful and us being peaceful, but it's complete destruction, chaos, and confusion leading up to that. And that's all that we're going to stay on. Now, this next scripture I got, this is Psalms 49, because people always like in the churches in the world, they like to scream King David and to the high hills. You know, he was beloved of the Lord and man after the Lord's heart. This is Psalms 49 and verse 4. It says, I will incline my ear to a parable, all right, which again, incline means shemai or listen, which what we're going into is understanding. So I will if you can loosely translate it, I will understand with my ear to a parable. I will open my dark saying upon the harp. So David went into dark sayings. All right. Some of the dark sayings is the MOTB. People don't want to have to think about their the way that they live being converted over into a microchip and planted underneath their skin. You know, they don't want to have to change their lives to do that. And they don't want to get beat down into submission to do so. You know, because at first it's going to be presented all lovey-dovey, but then Esau, something may happen in the world where Esau says, no, we need to bring the hammer on these people and force them. Now, this is Psalm 78 and verses 1 through 2. It says, give ear, or a song. This is Michelle of Asaph. Give ear, O my people, to my law. So you see, there's a law again, like it says in Sirach 39 and 1. All right. If we can get that in the KJV next with Bakushah, one of your brothers, Zaquanium. I'm gonna run it back from the top now. You got it already?
Connor, I got the screen if you want to give it to me, Yatazak.
I can't do it from my phone. I'm on my phone.
Con.
Go ahead and read that first, bro, before I read this next precept.
Con, this is Psalms.
Because that's another thing. The law is tied to prophecy. Within the laws, you have Shiloh, the scepter not departing from Judah, and Shiloh gathering the nations. There's a whole lot in there that's not mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh Shai Shiloh, in order for him to gather the nations, a scattering, a great persecution has to come. Our people going into the wilderness and getting severed from the hopeful elect, a great purging of the rebels, race riots, you know. These things lead up to Shai-Allah or Yahweh Shai in the spirit coming back to gather the nation. So if you could read that, bro.
Con. This is Psalm 78 in verse 1. It says, give ear, O my people, to my law. Mm-hmm. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. Mm-hmm. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old.
Right. Now, this is Psalm 78 and verse 1. Give ear, O my people, to my law. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old, which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us. You see, these prophecies always got passed down from generation to generation. There was never an improper interpretation. The Lord always was going to promise to do what? Send a redeemer and overturn our captivity. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're speaking on. But in order for that to happen, majority of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, more of you got to get wiped out in these floods, man. Get struck by lightning, you know? Drink some bad Flint water, like from Michigan, you know? We need bad things to happen to our people. That's the only way Jake gonna understand. Because check this next verse out, verse 4. It says, we will not hide them from our children, showing to the generation to come the praises of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and his strength and his wonderful works that he hath done. So you don't have an excuse. We're on all your corners in all your major cities. You go down the main street in any city, you're going to see a group of Israelites, whether it's us or another group. So one way you're going to hear some form of prophecy, but we talking about the 100% truth from us. You have no excuse. It says we will not hide them from our children. The truth was hidden for a little while, but obviously David saw something in the spirit. And he was, and this, remember, mind you, this is a song about dark sayings. You know what I'm saying? Had a melody to it, had music and everything. So we're saying it to you, but this was sung. Hey, and I'm willing to fight to the end, tooth and nail, to figure out how that song, how it sounded. You know what I mean? That's another thing.
Rightly divide the word of truth.
That's another part of prophecy. The chariot's coming up to get us. That's a dark saying. People are afraid of what the world calls so-called UFOs. You know, that's our salvation. You got it, Zaquan. He's about to say something.
No. I was gonna say the situation with somebody get 2 Timothy 4 at the bottom of the chapter, because Paul is telling Timothy to take heed to the doctrine. You just get it. Just get it. 2 Timothy 4 at the last 2 verses, I believe.
Con, this is 2 Timothy 4 and verse 21, and it says, "Do thy diligence to come."
1 Timothy.
1 Timothy.
Yeah, check 1 Timothy.
Yeah, it's good in the NLT and KJV.
1 Timothy. Con, this is 1 Timothy 4 and 15. It says, "Meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them. For in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee."
You see, so checking yourself and making sure you teaching the doctrine correctly. That's what Paul is telling Timothy. This is a commandment. Make sure you stay on point to the best of your ability in your daily life. You see, so that you can have a good report amongst the people. That way, what you speak as far as this truth is concerned is for who it's for. Mm-hmm. You see, can you read it in the NLT?
Yes, sir. It says, "Keep a close watch on how you live and on your teaching. Stay true to what is right for the sake of your own salvation and the salvation of those who hear you."
See, we believe that our understanding is going to lead us to the kingdom of heaven. Everybody else don't. You know, you got these dudes talking about a gram of macaroni and a bar of Mentos, and now this nigga chewing on a lit Palo Santo stick, talking about he God and all this crazy shit. You see, that was another thing that we was going to discuss. These Jakes falling out. You see, the Lord set it up that way, man. Mm-hmm. That whole Darash situation, that's what I'm saying, bro. I remember sitting next to him eating chicken. Mm. I ate chicken with that man. You see? Nigga turned into a pumpkin a month later. Now look at him. You see? And that's a fearful thing to see. That's what I'm saying. So when you see something like that, more often than not, rightly dividing the word of truth is on your thought process, man. So you want to be sure that you do that. That's what I'm saying. Chewing on a lid Palo Santo stick.
Yeah, that nigga ate the chicken unworthily.
You know what I'm saying? And that's so seeing something like that, call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, or that worked. Because he came up against the men of the Lord. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Why record that? You ain't did no lesson in months, and when you finally come back, it's that?
Right.
Come on, man. That's what I'm saying. So, following the advice of the Apostle Paul, telling Timothy, look, stay in order, keep teaching the truth. Them the instructions. You got it?
You read it in the NLT. Oh, yeah, it is good in the NLT, too.
Con, it's just, we go back. This is 1 Timothy 4 and 16. Yeah, I'll read it again in NLT. It says, keep a close watch on how you live and on your teaching. Stay true to what is right for the sake of your own salvation and the salvation of those who hear you. And also the AMP, it says, pay close attention to yourself. Concentrate on your personal development and to your teaching. Persevere in these things. Hold to them. For as you do this, you will ensure salvation both for yourself and for those who hear you.
Man, that's the best thing to hear, man. Don't deviate, and you will ensure salvation for yourself. We haven't deviated.
Persevere.
We've been teaching the same thing since we've been on YouTube. Nothing has changed. You know, the truth has grown, but it hasn't changed. You know what I mean?
Right. You're going to get the same answer from every brother.
Exactly.
You're not going to keep the brother in a different state, got a different breakdown.
Yep. And a lot of you Israelites out there who are channel hopping and you dibbling and dabbling as a novice, the best advice is, but you still in Timothy?
Yes, sir.
Stick with Great Millstone. Start watching these other groups and read verse 13.
This is verse 13. It says, till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine.
That's the best thing you can do for yourself. That's the best medicine. I was watching the Elder Benatazakba last night. He was doing a lesson on that long ass message that woman sent about the northern tribes.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a guy on the comment board. He said, as a newbie, as myself, what's a good starting point or something like that? Like, what should I do as just coming into the truth? And this is it right here. And like he told him on the live, listen and take notes. Bro, we all had college rule notebooks, front to back with precepts, full, multiple notebooks. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Fill up a few notebooks first. you know what I mean?
Just taking notes.
That's all you got to do. You can get saved.
You can go GMS archives and pull up the old lessons of the apostles, elders at the time. Just at the Ponderosa, getting it in before they will go out on the street and speak for hours, man.
Yeah, and in transit, elders in transit. You know.
Yeah, we had. Well, I said we with GMS homework. That's what I'm saying. We literally went to Bible school.
Mm-hmm.
GMS homework. We had to study those. We had to go. We had to read those chapters, answer those questions, pass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And at the end of the day, if you didn't pass the test at the end of the day, it was all about getting the right answer. You see? But those tests was to see where we was at.
Yeah, and you know that's why we give double honor to our elders and apostles, because although the GMS homework has stopped on that channel, it hasn't stopped, if you know what I mean. Because we all have class, and we all have tests across the board. We don't know what they're doing outside of Great Millstone. They're having class. Right? IUIC's having class. Are they passing out Scantrons and multiple choice questions? You know, I mean, we're not passing out Scantrons here, but I know they ain't testing people over there. Because I know back when I was in church and we had Bible study, we wasn't getting quizzed. I don't remember getting quizzed.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Hey, it was certain. I know it was certain breakdowns. All right, that we had to study. For a point, an example. The 12 feathers. We had to go into that. We had to go and dig into that history, and then the breakdown was given privately, all right, to the men in good stand, to the camps in good standings. But that was through the Spirit. That was the apostles and elders, all right, putting us on a level to get ready for the men that was going to come behind us as well.
Right. That's just like the apostle elder Tahar mentioned. He was like, look, we done already taught y'all all the Bible. We done already, so now we're in the point where we just analyzing stuff. You see? So at the end of the day, man, having that understand, Apostle Ricard tell us all the time. He like, yeah, I know the scriptures and I understand the scriptures. I taught y'all, but shit, when I'm sitting in class with y'all, I'm still learning. You see? The apostle like, yeah, I know we didn't teach y'all that, but y'all spot on. Just like that Church of Berea. You see? Church of Berea, House of David. That's what I'm saying. You got to understand who's who right now. House of Saul getting weaker and weaker. House of David getting stronger. Y'all got it.
All right, quick precept. This is Proverbs 24 and 21 in the NLT. It says, "My child, fear the Lord and the king. Don't associate with rebels." And just wanted to bring that out because, man, our study habits alone that we've been taught has separated us from the false prophets, man. Okay, the ones who's rebelling against the spirit, rebelling against Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Because if you got a difference in a breakdown or anything like that, that's just showing you're not agreeing with Yahushai. So you're a rebel. All right, that's what we don't deal with you guys, man. Now we don't need to debate with you. We don't need to have a long talk with you and shit. No, you guys really need to shut the fuck up and listen to the men who's putting in the work to confirm the doctrine, which it's already been confirmed. Okay, now we getting further and further and applying what we learned.
I'm saying then Jake talking about don't nobody got 100% truth. Like, speak for yourself. You know, that's what I'm saying. You say don't nobody got 100% truth. We saying we got 100% truth. Like, that's what I'm saying. Why wouldn't you have 100% truth? That's what I'm saying. So are you saying that it's parts of the thing that you're not willing to study? Did you not eat the whole roll? Have you not been born again? You see? Bro, since we've been born again, bro, we've eaten through the spirit every single day. We have not missed a meal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We eat every day. You see? That's what I'm saying. So these dudes talking about they don't have 100% truth. Okay, 100% truth. You don't have 100% faith in the Lord. It's enough here. You're going off on the doctrine. The breakdown is actually right here. That's what I'm saying. The food is in front of you. Who the fuck is going to starve in a grocery store? 2/3 of the nation of Israel is going to starve living in the grocery store.
Mm-hmm. The fucking
and in this truth, everything in the store is lawful. Everything in the store is lawful. This nigga going to starve. Somebody got a precept?
Yeah, I was trying to look for the one. Because apparently you see you got a scoffer on the comment board saying you scrubs don't got shit. You know, it's funny, but meanwhile we're edifying and we're doing what Yahweh Shem Yahushua told us to do. So
but just on ignorance, scriptures are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
That alone, we could be sitting out here not saying shit, but scriptures are being read and coming out. So I guess you're saying reading the scriptures ain't shit.
Mm-hmm. This is Acts. This is Acts 20, Lakia. This is Acts 20 and verse 27. And it says, "For I have not shunned to declare unto you all the counsel of Yahweh Shem Yahushua." All the counsel. So that's why we can boldly say that we have 100% truth as a body. Because if a brother doesn't know something, remember the elder Yagadol made the example that we've been shown breakdowns so that we can show the younger men coming in after us. We've been shown these. So it was one point that we were still learning ourselves, right? So within the body, we have 100% truth. Because if we don't know something individually, we contact the big bros, the elders, the bishops, and the apostles, and we get the answer as a body. And the Lord has revealed the answer to us according to what is written in the scriptures. Well, of course, Yahweh doesn't know the time when he's coming back, nor the angels, nor any man. That's something that the Heavenly Father has. The Heavenly Father has mysteries that man will never know. You see, unless it's declared to us later on. But as far as what's written in the scriptures, the Heavenly Father has given us the 100% truth and understanding on it. You know, simple as that. You know, when you guys bring out the scriptures and you bring the incorrect breakdowns, talk about these scoffers or whatever, these other groups, we bring out the true understandings, letting you know that you don't have it. We're saying no, according to the scriptures, actually this. So we're letting you know what the true understanding is. If you get what I'm saying.
Yep. And we show our work.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord put the spirit on the prophets to show our work, man. You see? Just like in class, especially in math class, you know, how did you get? Okay, so the answer is 144, right? How did you get to that conclusion? What steps did you take to the answer 144, right? And then you show your work. So your whole page is gonna be filled up. You ain't just write 144 on the piece of paper, on a blank piece of paper. No. That whole page is filled up with how you got to a 144. Other groups don't have that ability. They say stupid shit and then they leave it out there. Go ahead.
No, but remember in class, what would they tell? Even if you had the correct answer, you couldn't. It wasn't acceptable unless you showed your work. You had to prove how you got that you knew. It's not just, oh, I got the answer. Well, we want to make sure you know how you got the answer, and that's what our teachers did for us. They didn't just give us the answers. They made us come back. No, explain it to me. Like, it's been a while since some months. But last year you kept having Apostle Tahar do what? He would get with the whole camp after they teach, and then he would have brothers go into breakdowns, man. Call brothers out and have them, hey, break this down. Mm-hmm. And that's what this is what the true teachers were set up to do, right, to raise up men worthy of teaching, man. Okay. Zaquan,
and that's what I'm saying. And through the Spirit and probably how about Shem Yahweh started with the apostles. That's what I'm saying. The apostles are the teacher. They're saying, no, it ain't that. It's this. You see, we the ones that showing our work, so they ain't got the work. But the other groups that's out there that got Bibles, got fringes, got congregations, they teaching the word. That's what I'm saying. We can tell you what they going off on because we already know. You see? Okay, well, in this part, you didn't even show your work. You just put something out there. So we putting an X on that. That ain't right. You got it.
Hey, Zaquan, can you grab 1 Peter 3:15 and read it in the NIV?
Let's see. 1 Peter. This is 1 Peter 3:15 in the NIV, and it says, "But in your hearts, revere Yahushua as Lord. Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for the hope that you have. But do this with gentleness and respect."
And that's why that verse is beautiful. It says, always be prepared to give an answer to everyone. All right. And you can't show one question that it came up, any video. All right, well, somebody was scoffing, and then Great Millstone didn't respond with a thorough answer, backing it up with the scriptures, man. And it made perfect sense. Whether you got it or not, the edification went out, man. All right. So you guys that claim that you can't have 100%, well, you're not prepared to give an answer to everyone to give reason for your hope that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And this is Salakia. This is the balance to that, because the apostles, the elders, bishops, big bros. There's been times when you had true demons that came up, and every now and then the apostles would entertain that and they'll edify. But there's occasions where the person's being a true demon, you pretty much send them up the block, because it's within reason, right? This is Proverbs 26 and verse 4 says, "Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou also be like unto him." So it's times when somebody came up and they were a complete demon and they didn't want to hear anything, and it's like, okay, well, let's send them up the block.
Yeah. But
somebody who was sincere,
right,
or even somebody that was gainsaying back and forth, but they was kind of sincere, guess what? The answer would come out.
Yeah.
All the time.
Hey, you already know how I am, bro. Remember when women come up to the camp?
Yeah.
I got a strict rule when I'm speaking, bro. I'm not taking questions from women at this time. Maybe if another brother speaking after me wants to answer your questions, but nah, I'm not taking no questions from women. Just listen, keep it moving. Especially when we're on the highways and byways, just keep it moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the funny part about
we had a dude come up to the camp, Tuesday night. A nigga on a motorcycle and a nigga woman in an SUV done got into it at the light. They argued back and forth, right? So around he came over talking about he had a question. So I finished making my point, and I was like, okay, well, what's your question? Before he even asked his question, he said, did y'all see? Yeah, he said, did y'all see that dude and that chick get into it? And automatically said the nigga on the motorcycles was with us. Like, nigga, you seen us walk up, you seen us get set up, you seen all up. That's what I'm saying. This nigga was on the corner the whole time. So while we getting set up, Ty setting the camera up and all this, he automatically, just because we didn't jump to defend her, assumed that the nigga on the motorcycle that was arguing with him was with us.
That's
like,
crazy.
This nigga ain't got on no garment. That's what he wasn't never with us.
Wow.
You see? But I said that to say this. That as random as that situation was, the nigga came out of nowhere and blamed us for it. Oh, he must have been with y'all.
Yeah.
What? You know what I'm saying? But that's the time we coming into.
Yeah.
You know, right before we got to the camp, Tazama was talking about how demonic that cone is, because that's where they usually go on Friday night when we be breaking the camp up. But you got it.
Mm-hmm. I had a precept of something you were saying, Zan. This is a problem concerning these other groups, because that's one thing they get upset about, is that we correct them. You know, if you're going off, we have to correct you because the eyes of your elect are watching. Because when they see these wild accusations like John the Baptist, it wasn't the truth. These people in the people in Israel, they're sitting and waiting like, oh wow, let's see what GMS is going to say. They're not saying, oh wow, let's see what GOCC is going to say, or let's see if IUIC is going to respond to it. No, they're not in the business of correcting.
Mm-hmm.
This is Proverbs 18 and 17. It
Hey,
says,
Zaquan, real quick, the proof be on the comment boards. Whenever one of those videos come out, you go to the comment boards, and the first thing you're going to see is somebody going to say, oh, wait till let's see what GMS got to say about it. Because they know we're in the business, like you said, of reproving.
absolutely, Zaquan, absolutely. And I got this precept here. This is Proverbs, or Mashalia in the Hebrew, Mashalia 18 and 17. It says, he that is first in his own cause seemeth just, but his neighbor cometh and searcheth him. Let me read these in a few other versions so you can understand this. The NLT, it says, the first to speak in court sounds right until the cross-examination begins. See, let me get another one.
Man, I wish I could talk about it, but I can't. But I'm sitting on the jury right now.
See, NIV, last one. In a lawsuit, the first to speak seems right until someone comes forward and cross-examines. And that's what we're in the business of, cross-examining. You say something, hey, if it's right, the scripture says a wise man will add unto it. But if it's wrong, it's got to be examined. It's the king's job to search out the matter, like it also says in Proverbs. So we're in the business of getting down to the nitty-gritty and make sure that it for the truth's sake, the truth is brought out, you know. That's our people. The scripture says the truth shall make you, you shall know the truth and shall make you free. So if you lying, you keeping our people shackled up in their minds. We can't have that blood on our hands, you know.
Yep.
Right. I'll say I pulled this hold up. This is I've typed in defense at Philippians, right? It says, but other of love, Philippians 1 and 17, it says, but the other of love. Let me read up, right? I'm going to start at 14. It says, and many of the brethren in the Lord, waxing competent by my bonds, are much more bold to speak the word without fear, right? Which is where we are now. Some indeed preach Hamashiach, even of envy and strife, and some also of goodwill, right? You seeing both of those sides play out. It says the one preach Hamashiach of contention, not sincerely, supposed to add affliction to my bonds, but the other of love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel, right? So we're going to get that word for defense. It's apologia, right? All right, apologia. verbal defense, speech in defense, a reasoned statement or argument. You see? So when you come out and say things that are biblically inaccurate, the teacher has to correct you. Now you get that one wrong. Number 10 is wrong. You see? We have to go through that because it talks about rightly dividing the word of truth. What you think rightly dividing the word of truth means, man? In 2 Timothy 15, it tells you that rightly dividing the word of truth means teaching the truth directly and correctly. It's a commandment. You see? So our job is to defend the gospel. You see? So when you're saying Esau can make it, we're going to defend that.
Mm-hmm.
If you saying Jacob's trouble ain't going, we going to defend that.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So everything that you don't understand, that's fine. As long as the right info is out there. Nate can start teaching the mark of the beast the right way tomorrow, and it wouldn't call Allah Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. The truth is coming out on this. You know what I'm saying? But he set up the law about the shit.
Yeah.
Somebody got.
Yeah, Nick, he's got to have a handler, you know, especially with how hard he was going. Mm-hmm. But hey, in the most recent the video that the elders and apostles did on the street, they reminded us of that story about him and his wife voguing and shit. You know, they kind of always been actors and been in that spirit of just playing a role, you know. And we don't need that. We don't need those type of leaders. Those are not the leaders to be sought after in Israel. You know, those are what the scriptures refer to as hirelings, hired on the left-hand side. You know what I'm saying? We've been hired on the right-hand side. They've been hired on the left-hand side. You know?
That's what I'm saying. We got, I would say, through the spirit and power, Yahweh, we got the toughest defense ever. You know what I'm saying? In all defensive categories of defending the gospel, man, hey, we leading the league. That's what I'm saying. You can't come here with that weak shit. Yeah, we throwing that bullshit out the whole Coliseum, nigga. Fuck you mean? No. We look. That's what I'm saying. Every time y'all, they take turns going off. That's why we always got something to talk about. All y'all do is good on people. Well, all they do is go off.
Yeah.
The flavor
when they bring out the right things. Yeah, when they bring out the right things, we don't say nothing about that.
You actually give them props. You got to give credit where credit's due.
If you showing Yahweh Shai coming back to fight all the armies 1-on-1 with an iced up and a holy, look like he tired. That's what I'm saying. We're going to get over here and tell you the scriptures do not say that it comes out like that.
That's right.
Okay? Talk about the Lord coming with the chariots and the angels and the army of chariots and all these things. That's what I'm saying. Lining niggas up and hitting them in the jaw. They don't talk about one by one judgment. No, it said it's going to be quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How? If the Lord got to beat all these motherfuckers up one by one. Come on, man.
See, they don't
Come on, man. And that's all we get on people for is about the doctrine. All y'all nasty little secrets and all that filthy BS y'all got going on. Hey, we ain't got nothing to do with that. You went off on Daniel. You went off on Ezekiel. You went off on Revelation. That's what it's on.
Yeah.
Yo, this is Salaki Zaquan.
No, so you got it.
This is Nehemiah 8:8. It says, so they read in the law of the Most High distinctly and gave the sense and caused them to understand the reading. And that's what we do. We give the sense and cause you to understand the reading, the proper understanding of what's being read, what's being written in the scriptures. You see?
Mm-hmm.
See, or came up something else. Salakia, Yadazak, you came up twice on the screen. Salakia. So it says Nehemiah 8:8 again. It says, so they read in the law of the Most High distinctly and gave the sense and caused them to understand the reading. When you see in the scriptures where it says his vesture shall be dipped in blood, it's not literally talking about he's going to have his vesture dipped in blood. But these fools will take that, like Yaltazak was saying, these fools will take that and they'll make an AI of it, and they'll make Yahweh Shai look like he's huffing and puffing with a sword in his hand with blood coming down, like he's wheezing or something like that, like he putting a lot of he's not gonna have to do all that. When he comes back, he's coming back in power. I just say all that to say we give what the correct sense of the scriptures.
That's right. The correct message.
Hey, Lamb, backing off of that, the scriptures talk about the righteous. What is that? Psalm 58:10. They talk about the righteous washing their blood with washing their feet in the blood of the wicked. That's not literal. It's just telling a metaphor for the amount of judgment and death and that's gonna be going out in that time, man.
Yeah. Yeah, because in Leviticus it tells you how the priests have to wash their hands in water. You don't say nothing about washing yourself in blood. You know, there's strict laws against that stuff. So I got a precept too. Hebrews chapter 5, verse 12. It says, For when the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. All right. And it says teach them again, because a lot of our people, they found out they're Israelites, and from the main groups, all you're going to hear is the law, law, law. You're not going to hear nothing about having faith, and you won't be able to do it all. You know what I'm saying? They expect you to be able to do it all the time, and usually under a false name or a false doctrine. So they had to be taught again. Well, the hopeful elect, the hopeful elect will be taught again. Everybody else can't be taught. So, some people actually can't be taught. You see it in school growing up. Some people just can't learn. It doesn't matter how it's broken down to them. Visual learners, if you got a photographic memory, if the Lord doesn't want you to receive the understanding, you can't get it. You can't get those first principles. Well, we see the first principles in the oracles of the Most High. What happened to our people? They couldn't keep them. Wandering in the wilderness for 40 years, seeing the same geographical landmarks. You're seeing the same things over and over again. That's why the Lord said you need to be taught again, and that's why the same Israelites that died in the wilderness, they're gonna die again. You're not gonna see the promised land on the first go around. For everyone that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe. And grown men who know the truth already, and they got t-shirt and fringes with that weird energy. You don't like being called a babe, because in order to get the 100% truth and submit, you'd have to be humble. You had to be humble. They don't want to cast off what they've been learning this whole time. Some of them got families. The whole family believes it. They don't want to leave all the friends they made in the congregation. You know how Jake is. They want to follow a multitude to do evil. They don't want to lose friends. Hey, because when you get the 100% truth, you start losing stuff. Jake don't want to lose nothing. They want to stay here. So what do you got to do? You got to start taking stuff away from them. Hey, this is when you find out the truth. This is this, and this is going to happen. And you do that for a baby, because a child doesn't know no better right from wrong. And that's what's going on with the majority of our people. We telling you what's right from wrong, and we try and teach it to you and break it down to you, but you're not getting it. But we understand, though. We don't get too bent up out of shape, but it's our job to point these things out. It's our job to point out the fact that the name is the key to salvation, but we rarely hear it. There was one time, remember, we went out on we did with the midweek camp, and IUIC is situated, well, it's our camp spot, but you know how they do. They're situated less than 100 yards or so down the street. An Israelite from the Northern Kingdom, he listened to them, and then he listened to us. He said he didn't hear the name the whole time he was with them.
The whole time.
I said, did you hear the name Yahushua all the whole time? He said, no. I said, did you hear the law, keep the laws, keep the laws? And he said, yes. And he stuck around with us longer than he did with him. Where that he is at today, I don't know. But he was very sincere, you see? And he came in that big spirit.
He came to eat, and he stayed where he was getting fed.
Yep. Over here, you're going to learn. You're going to go, there's a scripture in Corinthians. It says going from glory to glory. The image, now that we've been translated, that's something else. That's why the Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahushai's various topics, we hitting a lot of stuff. When you come into this truth, you can't just stay on one level. You have to eat, and eat. Don't you know your stomach is a muscle? If you keep eating and eat, it's gonna expand. You're gonna get more in there the next time you go. You know what I'm saying?
God.
Just like when you fast, your stomach can shrink. I think it's Corinthians. If you just type in
3:18.
yeah, that's it. Start up maybe a verse or two.
You want in the KJV?
Yeah, Babakusha. And then you can read 18 in the NLT. We can switch to that when we get to 18. See what that says.
All right, Con. This is 2 Corinthians 3, and I'll start at verse 15. It says, "But even unto this day, when Moses is read, the veil is upon their heart. Nevertheless, when it shall turn to the Lord, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, the veil shall be taken away."
Yeah,
Now,
Yahweh Shai took that veil away. You see? And Yahweh Shai is tied to the law again. Prophecy is tied to the law. And these people, they hate it. These other Israelites, they hate it. The scripture says the haters of the Lord should have submitted themselves. Then would I subdue their enemies. Stop saying Jesus Christ. And you know, a lot of them are probably saying Yahweh Shai at night when they go home and they praying, and they throwing on a purple shirt or whatever t-shirt and fringe they got on and going right back to screaming Christ is the King. The damn shame. Go ahead, bro.
Once again, Zaquan, again, even it trickles down. We said Christian church earlier, it trickles down even to Hebrew Israelites that are teaching, and they constantly keep using Jesus and Christ. The IUIC uses Jesus Christ. ISUPK uses Christ. And you notice the one common denominator, they got prophecy wrong. You see? Because they use those the names that they keep pushing out, even though sometimes ISUPK may say Yahweh Shem Shai, but because they keep using Christ, putting that vibration out, you notice why they got the prophecies wrong. Spirit of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy.
Yep. And their doctrine's wrong. They still clinging to Ruth being an Israelite. Remember that whole engagement? We had a whole argument with these niggas over Ruth.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. And that what I'm saying. That's like that was saying. Can you imagine being a teacher in a classroom full of students, and you got this one student that really think that you gonna argue and go back and forth with him and all that? Get your bitch ass out of here and go to the principal's office, little nigga. Get out of my classroom. You finna get kicked out the classroom. I'm not finna go back and forth with you, and you clearly don't know what you're talking about. No. That's what I'm saying. This is what it is. In the name of the Lord, this is what it is, and that's that. I don't care about your opinion and your private interpretations. No, we're not doing that. Those private interpretations is why it's a 2/3.
Yep.
You got to lead these people to death and then come back later. That's the life that you in. And that's what I'm saying. Our job is to defend the gospel, to protect the flock. So when you hit record and you go off, we go hit record and correct it. That's the battle that the Lord got set up. What's that? Romans 11:28. See, going into the Lord set up the elect of the 2/3 to go up against each other. Make your forehead hard against theirs. You see, for the gospel's sake.
Yep.
You want to continue in there?
Yeah, you can read 18, bro, and then that's it from me.
God, before I ever get that, just man, you had Zaquan Monaghan, you had made the point of the names. All right, now why Jesus? Now, if you can call him anything, why are you using a name that the heathens use?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you use? You got all type of other. You say it's all type of other names. Why specifically you have to stick to that shit? Because you're being told to it. If you're not being paid to do it, Satan is directing you to do it, man. But this is 2 Corinthians 3:17. It says, "Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. But we all, with open face beholding as in a glass the glory of the Lord, are changed into the same image from glory to glory, even as by the Spirit of the Lord."
Yeah, it said changed over into the same image. Meaning you're gonna leave whatever you was calling on, whatever you were doing, and you're gonna conform it to what Yahweh Shai was doing, what the men of the Lord were doing, what they were saying. Right? And it said you're gonna go from glory to glory. I mean, you're not just gonna be stuck on the color of the Lord and keeping the laws. Because that's what you find out in the beginning. That's you just a parakeet repeating the same thing you hear from the elders and apostles when you first come to the truth. You don't really develop your character, and you can we've been in this truth long enough to you can see somebody where okay he's acting like somebody. He's not really teaching. That's not who he is yet. Mm-hmm. And you can see that with Nate. He's just an actor. Mm-hmm. He has not grown. You can see that with ISUPK. They still are standing on crates and stuff. You know, getting people to kiss their boots. That's not glory. All right, we talking about getting these breakdowns, understanding the mark of the beast, looking up the Greek words for charagma.
What's up with these precepts, cuz?
Yeah, what's up with here, there, here a little, and there a little. Don't stop at 2. Because I know 20 precepts. What about these other 18 precepts that I got? Mm-hmm. You only brought out 2 to prove your point. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't have an understanding of those.
Yeah. Right. 2 is one glory. All the other precepts, that's going to other glories because you have a lot of people. They're going to ask questions coming from different aspects of life. Hey, the elder brother Zanola, we always do this. We haven't done it in a while, but we like to pose questions like somebody in Christianity will pose. Like, how would they ask this question? Mm-hmm. To the minds. If you were coming straight out of the church, what question did you have, and how would you ask it in a semantic and tricky way? Yep. You know, try and trip you up. You know, but if you're at a certain glory, it ain't no tripping up. They say, I know what that is. You know, spin, move, and dunk on you. You know,
but that's how the scriptures talk about iron sharpening iron. They don't see all the work that go on behind the scenes with us. Like just an example, y'all saying like we play the Scarfer game. Yeah, it's just brothers alone. Hey, you just call a brother out or whatever, and you do it throughout the spirit, in the spirit, of course. And then you have a couple brothers play the Scoffer. All right, you might have 2 brothers reading for them, and we do mock preachings like, hey, shit, brother, come up and say this. All right, what's one of the first precepts? How you gonna respond to this? To make sure we all on point to defend the gospel.
God.
Yep, just like the Chicago camp, like Elder Malcolm would say, if you can't make your point with at least 4 precepts, then you done. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one thing about it. The precepts continue to build on each other. Well, I've been saying this for years. You run out of precepts when you lying about the scriptures. You see,
man.
When you lying, you're gonna run out of precepts every single time, man.
Mm-hmm. And when you don't know, you're gonna stop and say, "I'll find out for you."
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Or, well, let's figure this out. You're not just finna just make anything up. You get killed for that. Lord said, if you add unto his, the plagues will be added unto you. La'atha water.
Yeah, and the majority of the time, I would say the majority of the time we going into prophecy.
Yeah.
You see? So when people come up with their questions, if it ain't prophecy based, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I want to say, you come up and say, Jay, we out there prophesying about the mark of the beast, and you got a nigga want to come up talk about due benevolence.
Right. How does
Get
this
out of here, nigga?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, man. Even with that the long ass comment question. I know that I know my question ain't even on topic. Well, I ain't finna read the fucking question.
Yeah.
Well, like, come on now. You gonna talk about all that shit and then they got nothing to do with the lesson? Fuck off. I'm not doing it.
Oh,
Lock
shit.
in.
That's right.
Lock in. Oh, I'm quick to tell somebody to fuck off. Look, man. It make my teeth white to tell you to get the hell out of my face. Nah, we ain't doing that. I said, first of all, we was already talking about something before you walked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay on topic. If your question ain't about what you heard walking up, it don't matter to me.
The elder Yatazak answer not a fool according to his folly. That's the balance. It's the balance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The topic is the topic. The sermon is the sermon. You ain't finna come up. Nah, man. Name the topic. Them days already gone. Them days already gone when we was entertaining that. No, we already know that y'all coming the way that y'all coming. That's what I'm saying. We can see it a mile away through our experiences. You know, you got it.
This is real quick. It's Hebrews 5:13. It says, "For everyone that uses milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe." Just backing up the point of more from glory to glory. Yeah, we came up on the milk. Now we're able to digest, all right, that meat, that steak. All right, we had to get built up, but you got guys that stand on that babe level. All right.
Yep.
I say it's more comfortable. It's more comfortable to be a babe. That's what I'm saying. Shit, growing pains. Jay can't take the growing pains.
Yeah. Can you read verse 14 too, Bakusha?
Okay. I'll read 13 again. It says, Hebrews 5:13. It says, "For everyone that uses milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe." Verse 14. "But strong meat belonging to them that are of full age, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil."
Now let's read that in the NLT, because we're at that point where we can discern. I can look at a brother and say, you know what, this brother ain't really been studying. He don't even have to say much. You can just tell, like, this brother ain't really reading. You know what I mean? Or this brother really hasn't been praying. Or, you know, this brother's freestyling in the spirit. You know, somebody come see what's up with this brother, see what's going on. Make sure he's okay. You know what I mean? If a brother may not be conveying that he's going through something, you could tell. You know, even if you don't know the brother's super, super personal. At this point in this truth, we know, you know.
You can listen to a man teach.
That's right.
You can, like you said, you just pick up like, man, what that brother talking about, man? Like, go check on that brother, see what's going on, man.
Yeah.
I got that in NLT for you. You wanted just 14?
Yeah, just 14. That'll be it.
This is Hebrews 5:14 in the NLT. It says, "Solid food is for those who are mature, who through training have the skill to recognize the difference between right and wrong." Man.
Yeah. Some people don't have that skill. Some people, they see right and wrong and they say, oh, this is entertaining. I love both of it. You just embracing the right and the wrong.
Hey, the header says a call to spiritual growth.
Wow. See that? Jake ain't growing, man. You got a lot of badass kindergartners running around. You know
that's why you got niggas talking about you chumps ain't got nothing.
Close the book.
Little rascals.
Whatever.
Close the book.
Yeah, little rascals. That's what they are.
Oh shit, man. We gotta watch Gremlins. Let's go.
Yeah, Gremlins. Those were Jake's. Esau created. Esau
man.
His master third time.
That's all it pretty much has upon him.
That was all. Yeah, that was all I had.
Oh yeah, I got one more. This is Sirach 22:19, because we also ask questions as well to these people to see if they understand. It's not a one-sided deal where they just bombard us with stuff and we're forced to deal with their foolishness. Remember Philip told the Ethiopian eunuch, understand us without readers. That's a question. So, we're allowed to ask these people questions to see what they know. And this is Sirach 22 and verse 19. It says, "He that pricketh the eye will make tears to fall, and he that pricketh the heart maketh it to shew her knowledge." So he that pricketh the heart maketh it to shew her knowledge. So we constantly keep testing your mind, throwing them questions, jabbing it. Then we're going to see what you know. It's going to come out.
That's right.
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, with that, Lord willing, that was edifying. We want to give our praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rahahak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Akin teaching about the mind wild mock. That's the sincerity and truth. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom. Shalom. Shalom.
sir.
Yo.